Good afternoon and good morning. It's an absolute pleasure to have your company. We thought, do you know what? Let's open a little bit different today.
Yeah.
Let's do it for the first time. Feels a bit weird. Feels a bit weird, but it feels really good that we're doing it together.
It does. We're back together.
Back together again. Don't start on that one there. Welcome. It's Wednesday. You know, it's midweek. Someone got the memo of starting to wear pink.
Oh, I don't have any pink with me this week.
You don't have none at all? Well,
No.
like, to be fair, last like 2-3 weeks I've not been wearing pink.
No,
So-
but today you are and I'm
But
not.
today that I am, yeah. It's the only shirt that I didn't have ready that was actually ironed. So that's how it went. So it's a bit of a win-win. Win-win for both. Big day today.
It is a
Yeah, it's a
very
big day,
big
yeah.
day today. This just feels weird,
Just
doesn't
feels
it?
weird.
Yeah, it feels
Throwing
weird.
it off. Good weird, though. Good weird. We have got, now, it's kind of officially the CTV launch of the Sarah Signature Nutcracker
It is
collection.
indeed. I might read that story again later if you're lucky.
That was very, very good. Certainly by the first time. Or if you didn't see the launch party, Joe gave us a little bit of an explanation as to what the Nutcracker was all about.
Yeah. Full plot synopsis.
Absolutely. First one, by the end of it, still wasn't kind of...
It's a bit dark, isn't it?
bit dark, really
Yeah.
bit dark. But then you went into a full-on, this is what the Nutcracker was. Pretty much got through a full demo by the time that you had finished it all.
Yeah.
But
there you
yeah,
go.
can't say it's stuck in my head though. Can't say
No.
it's stuck in my
I'll give
head.
you a little refresh later.
You do that. You do that. You can get that set up on your iPad while we have a look to see what's coming up today on Crafters TV. Kickstarting with a launch. This one is the Nutcracker collection with over 315 elements in total. Today's price being $39.99 or $44.80. Platinum price £31.99 or $35.84. We've kind of gone into all that detail a little bit soon. You can tell Johnny and Charlotte are back in the building. Hey, they're back. They're eager to get going, aren't they?
Really eager to get going, yes. So Charlotte's like whoosh, cracking that whip this morning, she is.
She is, she absolutely is. Right, let's have a look to see what we've got coming up today on Crafters TV. Right at the side there. Going in with a launch day. So the launch day being 3 o'clock here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. That's going to be with Jan. She's got the launch of Sarah Sig Nutcracker collection with Joe. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into Creative Cravens. With it being Wednesday, that is the flagship show of the day, also with Jan. So what we've done is I like to usually do, of course, my one pick for Wake Up Call is definitely the Nutcracker, and we've got a few other elements as well. Still being with Sarah's Signature, we'll wait to see that again in a moment. We're going to go from Christmas to a garden party, and we're going to throw in a few other elements as well when it comes to Wake Up Call. So as always, it's going to be a jam-packed day today.
It is. You'll be ready for a garden party, won't you?
I will be.
Yours is
yeah.
all is looking. Should see Craig's water feature.
It's a bird bath, but it's nice. It's nice. I did actually want a full singing and dancing.
Like the
water
Bellagio?
feature. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I wanted that, but then I just thought maybe it's just going a bit too far the tacky route.
I think it would have been fine.
For the front garden.
We'll just get a hose pipe out every once in a while, be fine. Something else that's going on, which you've got, we're going to be announcing it a little bit later today, is of course Win Your Winter Wish List. It's not too late to enter. It's running over on our social media right now. You can win £100 or $150 of crafting goodies. Simply head over to Crafters TV Facebook page and comment on the Win Your Winter Wish List post over on Facebook. That'll be fun. Lots of people chatting away with us as well today. Craig Jones joining us from very dull Chelmsford. I don't know if she means the weather's dull or Chelmsford is generally quite dull. I'm not sure. She didn't specify. Let's go with the weather. Lynn saying hi. Suzette is here as well. And I can see Gita as well from a very dull Darlington. Again, I'm not sure if it's the weather or it just generally is quite dull.
Johnny's just answered that for us right now.
Johnny lives in Darlington.
Have to say though, the weather's not that nice here today.
And the weather's not great either.
No, it's not. I think it's right across the board. So do you know what the best thing to do today, wherever you are, whether you've got sun, whether you've got rain, like we've got, why not do a little bit of crafting? And why not tempt you with something we've got? Maybe you've not seen it or had the opportunity to purchase it beforehand, but here we go. This one is our Sarah Signature, kind of the official CTV, Crafters TV launch of the Nutcracker collection. Now within this one, this has got over 315 elements. $39.99 here in the UK, $44.80. With this one, you're also getting 50 bonus points. So with that today's price, you're saving 10%, even already been a launch. But then with Platinum, that comes down even more at £31.99 or $35.84. For you guys. Now this is Sarah's signature. If you managed to see launch party last night, the way I explained it, it was really nice. Some of the signature collections, for instance, towards the night before Christmas, it has to be big, has to be huge to maximise all those incredible stamps and dies, etc., etc. But with the Nutcracker, it's a nice little comprehensive little collection. Familiar with the style of the box, whereas you get all the embellishments and that to go with it too. That is always included. We're going to have a look at it first and foremost. Is going to be the first pick within Wake Up Call that we will look through, but then also demo. But to see full 2 hours with Jan, so you know the demos are going to be incredible. The explanation, the step-by-steps are going to be phenomenal. So it's absolutely one that you're not wanting to miss when it comes to launch day. That being 3 o'clock here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. So we've gone from Christmas. Now we are in the Christmas era of the year when we get started with all our brand new Christmas goodies. We've just had that Christmas Club Inspire Craft event, but you might want to just fill your crafty life with some garden party, with some springtime, with some summertime. This is what we've got here. Now, this is what's coming up within Creative Cravens. Later on at the end of today, we have got the full Garden Party complete collection. Very, very rarely do we able to come back and say a complete collection. We've got 102 elements and 120 sheets of paper. So you have got your 12 by 12, you've got your cardstock. What you've got is some embossing folders as well. You've got stamps, you've got dies. You have then got your layerable stamps as well. You've got some of your sentiments, your creator card, 6 by 6 paper pad. You've got stamps that you can create your invites if you wanted to as well. So when today's price, £125 or $180. Here in the UK, you save over 25%. Crossing the US of A, you're saving over 20%. And Central Europe, you're also going to be saving 25%. But you know what I like to say by now? If you are Platinum, that comes down to bang on £100 or $144 for you guys stateside. Huge fun collection within this one here. So this is why I had to pick Garden Party. I had to pick Nutcracker collection. Well, do you know what? Any launch, it's always going to be my first pick. But throughout the show on Wake Up Call, what we're going to do is we'll have a look at a few other items that are going to be coming up within Creative Cravens. Thanks so much. So are we going to show them right now, Johnny? Oh, here we go. Let's go for it. We have got the Double Dutch card making kit. This is the Bright Blooms. This has got, Joe, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
492 elements. I know, 492 elements. It's going to enable you to make your Double Dutch cards. This one being £24.99 here in the UK, $29.95. So that's per kit. You are also getting 100 extra bonus points as well within that one. So that will potentially take you into either Platinum or maybe some of the other levels of Club Inspire. But I'm not finished there, because the Platinum price comes down to $19.99 or $23.96. So that is the Double Dutch card making kit. But what we've also done, and what I've also picked up, we're going to have a look in Wake Up Call, this is the vintage hand making. No, it's not. It's the vintage handbags, card making. Got my words mixed up? Sounded quite good, but let's go with what's on the screen. Handbags, card making kit. That's what the guys and the girls in the office do. They spend their time making sure the details are right. The least I can do is at least say them properly. Are you ready for this one, Joe? 764 elements within this one here. All die cut, $24.99. Joe is absolutely ecstatic at
Cock
that
a
one.
hoop.
$24.99 or $29.95 for you guys stateside. Platinum price comes all the way down to $19.99 and $23.96. Is this, Johnny, is this the same on the bonus points? 100 extra bonus points as well when it comes to this one here. So we're going to be having a look at these ones just shortly. You don't just have to use them as they are intended. I may show you another way, but do you know what? Let's show you a third one. let's go for it. This is the reverse easel card making kit. This is a beautiful bouquet with 464 elements, $24.99, $29.95 per kit, and I'm going to say it, 100 extra bonus points as well on this one as well. So if you were to potentially go for all 3 sets, by gosh, that's going to be so many bonus points you're going to be getting. But the platinum price, it comes down to the other 2 as well. £19.99 here in the UK, $23.96 for you guys stateside. So, of course, if you're here in the UK, crafterscompanion.co.uk, for you guys stateside.com, and if you are around Central Europe, you need to go to .eu. Definitely the place that's going to be for you to stock up on any additional elements and items that you may see me and Jan using throughout the day. But the other thing, with it being Wednesday, that's still relatively new that you might want to check out is something that Joe's away to go over in a moment.
Absolutely. Something that we launch every single Monday here at Crafters TV during our wake up call is, of course, the Get It, Got It Good. Ooh, yeah. This week's Get It, Got It Good is a 6-piece adhesive essential collection. That tacky glue is back in stock. You're going to get 2 of those along with 2 of the Collal 3D glue gels and 2 of your all-purpose glues too. A brilliant price there for you as well, $25.94, $44.78. Make sure you grab it whilst it is, of course, this week's Get It, Got It Good. Lots of you tuning in and saying hi from all over today. Deborah's saying hi from Bakersfield. Cheryl's here as well in North Carolina. Mary's in Wisconsin. Lots of you up bright and early this morning. Brenda wants to know if I'll do the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy later in our Nutcracker show. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Why don't I have a little investigate between shows and see if that choreo is in my repertoire already. We'll see, Brenda, what we can do with that. I make no promises. What do you reckon? Do you reckon you could do the dance of a Sugar Plum Fairy, Craig?
You could give it a shot. Yeah,
No.
Maybe you and Jan together, you could do it. I'm not good at dancing, so I would be useless at the Sugar Plum dance, that's for sure. But you know what? I would certainly give it a shot. Never say never. I'm up for any sort of a challenge. Talking about the Nutcracker, this is what we're going to have a look at first. So if you have not been able to purchase it, because you may have seen it elsewhere, you guys stateside would have seen it on HSN, here in the UK you would have seen it on Crate and Craft, but for Crafters TV this is basically an official launch with Jan and Joe, with it being the Nutcracker collection with over 315 elements in total. $39.99 here in the UK, $44.80 for you guys stateside, but you're getting 50 bonus points within this one here, but that also means that the platinum price comes down even more to $31.99 or $35.84. Such a gorgeous collection here. I think we just need to go straight in and show you some finished samples as to what you can be creating. I think what we'll do as well, just double check with our producer Johnny, we'll have a very quick look through the box as well beforehand. Let's do that. So we'll do that next before we do a little demo. Now these are gorgeous. They are absolutely gorgeous. The artwork within this collection here, it's slightly different. It's got more of a sketchy look when it comes to the images that have been created. But what it allows you to do is make your Nutcracker theme card. Now, even although it's the Nutcracker, you can still be making, and of course, as you would do, give to friends and family, but you can still sell them as well. You can sell them to make a little bit of a profit if you so wish. But you've got stamps, you've got dies, even the pattern papers in the background works an absolute treat. Pattern papers. With the pattern papers, there's quite a few tartan-esque / plaid sort of designs. But whether you want to keep them simple, whether you want to go into a notebook or a memory book, talking of that, Joe, also within today's show, we're going to be doing the very final part of our Christmas planner that I've been doing each Wednesday. So that is going to be the next bit that we're going to demo after we've done the Nutcracker. But as you can see, there's some really nice little cards that you could be doing. Of course, if you want to go large, you can do. But let's go into our box. Now, this is a complete box, but this is a studio one that we use. So it's not going to be in complete order, but we will get it to the best order we can. what you've got within these ones here is you've got this embossing folder that you can see with the bed, and we've got the curtains. Or do you know, Joe, is there a specific name for like the curtains around the bed? Is there, or?
I don't know, shall I Google it?
Sure, have a look.
I'd say drape, personally.
The drape, yeah, because I think along the top is the swag, isn't it? I think we worked out last night. But yeah, maybe the drape as well down the side. So that embosses. Now, one of the most popular collections that we have brought to you recently, all occasion and Christmas, that is our embossing folders that come with stencils. So what we've done
is a canopy, Craig.
A canopy, is it?
Yeah, the curtains around the bed are referred to as a canopy.
As a canopy. So you've got the canopies that embosses with...
Not canapes, they're very different.
You
didn't say canapes, but don't try and eat those curtains. They won't taste like vol au vents.
No, I definitely don't. I do like a vol au vent.
Oh, I do love a vol au vent.
I love a vol au vent. You've never had a vol au vent?
I've never had a vol au vent. It's like a little, it's like a very small puff pastry case, isn't it?
It is.
And then you can fill it with things like, I don't know, prawns or bit of salmon cream cheese, bit of egg mayonnaise. Oh, yeah. Delicious.
Oh, they're nice. Honestly, they're nice. They're one of those party foods where they're best when someone else makes them. Not I've made them myself for a while, but if I try, it's just not as good. Kind of digress. We always digress onto food. We'll go from a canopy of the Nutcracker collection to vol au vents. Go figure. Let's go back into the stencils that we've got here. So what these do is these enable you to ink up on top of your embossed image. So because we've got a few different stencils, so we've got what could be the swag, but then what we've also got is the canopy that you can see here down the side. So you can ink them up whichever colorways that you so wish. But then what we've also got is the detail of the bed as well. Now, yes, go in with your water reactive inks, or what I'm going to show you within Garden Party later on, you can still do your blending with quick dry inks if that's all that you've got. So I'll show you that. But then maybe do some of your heat embossing on them. If you want to go that gold metallic look, even our Midas ink pads, then you can do. But we've even given you as well another stencil. But look at all these, like your foliage. Is it the fir from the fir tree, or what am I trying to say? Yeah, fir, isn't it? Yeah. So you could use that as a complement right on the background, but the idea would be to use this elsewhere in your cards on top of your pattern paper. So that's the stencils that you get. And then what you've also got is you've got all of these beautiful satin ribbons. Now, satin is always my favourite ribbons to get within any sets, but you can see we've got 3 different colours, 3 different widths, and then you've got 3 of each. So we've got a red, well obviously they're all red there, but we've got our 3 different widths that you can see there. We've got the reds, we've got the greens, and the deep navy. Navy works an absolute treat within this collection, and that's exactly what I'm going to do within the first demo. We're going to match the navy and also the reds together. But not only are we giving you gems that are going to complement colour-wise, but we're also giving you some dewdrops. So really nice, if you love that dewdrop effect, you've got your glossy highlights, but you don't want to wait on it drying, then use them. Of course, you're going to get your card blanks, you're going to get your 5x7, C6, and your 6x6. Then we're going to go into these most sumptuous colours of your 8x8s. Now you're going from your burgundies, your poinsettia red, get your green there. More of your lighter tan feel to it. Then we're going into our navies and then into more of our deeper blues as well. These gorgeous colours, but what they do is these complement your pattern papers, all of which, Joe, are double-sided.
Nice.
And they're matte. So if you did want to do some stenciling over the tops, you can do. You could do fussy cutting because you get 3 sheets of each if you want. But with these ones, what you've got is a lot of that distressed look already done. So maybe you're not too keen on the messy, inky techniques. It's done for you. Maybe you want to enhance it, then you can do. But you've got the grandfather clock that we can see here. Then what we've got is the Christmas trees. Even just onto a straight 8x8 card blank would work a treat, or in a little box frame, bring it out year after year. If you love the Nutcracker theme, then there's nothing stopping you from doing that. But then with it being double-sided, if I go back just a couple more, this is where we've got some of the tartan feel or the plaid feel as well that runs throughout. So I'll show you a few more as well. All of these designs that you see are going to run through the stamp and the dies that we'll go over in a moment. But that's all your 8x8 as well. And then at the side of me, because this is what we're about to use, you have got all of these incredible stamps. Full sheet of stamps, all to do with the Nutcracker. Not just your images, but you've got some of your Christmas sentiments. You've got Nutcracker, you've got Parumpa-Pum-Pum, even this music. That's just tickled both Charlotte and Johnny. So much so I've never heard Johnny laugh like that before. Ra-pum-pum-pum-pum.
Sounds like you've had too many Brussels sprouts to me.
Well, got to at least have one Brussels sprout at Christmas. Don't like them, but have to have one. This would be a good one. Oh, now Johnny's trying to copy what I say. This is a good one to be using elsewhere as well, you know, because it's not, I don't know if this musical lyric actually will say something or play something, but it doesn't necessarily say Christmas written anywhere, so use it elsewhere. But within these ones, you've got slight distressed look to them as well, so a nice little take when it comes to the Nutcracker. And then for most of them, not every single stamp, but most of them, you do get your coordinated dies as well, if you want to then just cut them out too. You've got all these as well. So as you can see there, within that price of even just today's price of being $39.99 or $44.80, it's an incredible collection, a luxurious collection, nicely packaged as well. Johnny's already saying that it's busy, which I'm not surprised. I would definitely take the opportunity to shop ahead. We do have it on Wake Up Call, but this is what Jan and Joe's going to have at 3 o'clock here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time.
Some questions coming in about this, Craig.
Go for it.
says, what weight are the card blanks, please? Great question.
That is a really good question. I don't know. It doesn't actually say on the box. I would think, going along the lines of a lot of our other card blanks that we do, let's go in. I would easily say, I'm going to say round about a 300.
Okay.
Let's say between 280 and 300.
Okay.
That's our white smooth stamping card. So yeah, I would say round about 280, 300 GSM.
Awesome. Terry Tom said, apparently at the top they're called swags on the bed, but the bits down the sides are called jabbo.
Oh.
There we go. Jabbos. There you are. Adriana saying how pretty those papers are. Sue loves seeing the Nutcracker ballet at Christmas. Jackie's just had a delivery from the Yodel Man. She's unboxing her year of crafts as we speak. Sue's loving this. Lisa says it never ceases to amaze her how Sarah and the team keep coming up with these awesome ideas. Lisa also saying it's fabulous. And Jeet's saying the rocking horse also good for baby and toddler cards as well. Absolutely. It would be awesome for that.
That's a really good idea, isn't it? Really like that idea. So I think what we'll do, Joe, is let's do a little bit of a demo on this one here. And I thought what we'll do, let's do one of my favourite techniques, and that is creating part of our own background, but doing the shadow effect with the grey. And we're still going to use some of the pattern papers, but this is going to complement the backgrounds that we've already got up. So I'm going to go in with the grandfather clock, and also I'm going to go in with our Nutcracker. And although I'm stamping the full lot, what I'm not actually going to do is do the full image. I'm going to go in, and what I'm doing is I'm going to stamp off the page. So I'm going to go in, and what I'm doing is I'm going to go at different angles. And for whatever reason, you know, it's just something that I was thinking of, nothing specifically. What I've been doing is I've been doing 2 at a time. Now usually in anything like this or anything like embellishments or layers of that, tend to say 3s because that's what they tend to do in the gardening world when it comes to planting, and it's more pleasing on the eye. But when I done the one that I've actually finished, I just felt that 2 really did work an absolute treat. And all that I am simply doing, as you can see, is I'm inking up, and then I am going all the way around. I'm not worrying too much about going into the middle, because this will actually be kind of covered, most of it. But then what we can do is let's come down at another angle here and just have a play, different angles, back to front, upside down. It doesn't really matter. What we're just wanting to have is our own Nutcracker border all the way round.
A lot of people are asking about how they would use the tree die which is in the box, Craig.
Now, I wanted to double check that myself because there's the tree die. Now, there isn't an actual tree stamp, but within one of the patterned papers, there is a Christmas tree. Right. And I'm wondering myself if that's going to work with the patterned paper. So we'll have a look at that just shortly as well. But that is another good question. A lot of love for that embossing folder coming in as well. Sonal saying with the stencil, she doesn't have any repositionable adhesive. Anything else she can use to secure that stencil in place when she's using it, Craig? So what I do, I don't tend to use the repositionable spray, as many of you know. What I tend to do is just attach the top with some of my low-tack tape. And then what I do, instead of actually blending the ink on, I've got a blending pad here, instead of blending the ink on top of my stencil, what I do is I pounce. Okay. Because there's a lot of fine detail within that stencil. So if you don't have anything that's covering the back, adhesive-wise, then if you're working your way around, you can pull up some of the elements of the stencil. So what I do is I just secure it top and bottom with low-tack tape, and then instead of blending, I pounce my ink on. And that's a good way of doing it. If you do have any issues or that, you know, if you can get your hands on any repositionable spray, that's going to help a treat. But, you know, there is way around it if you don't.
Okie doke. I hope that helps.
Hopefully, anyway. That's a good thing with being able to ask questions live, and we can answer them the best we can. So what we're going to do is let's do a couple more here. Now what I'm going to do here is, although I've gone twos all the way around, what I don't want is a number of grandfather clocks altogether. So let's break that up into here. So let's go into there. And then what I'm going to do as well, although a lot of this will be covered, there will be bits of it that's going to be seen. So therefore, what I'm going to do is let's take our little bauble, and then for something small like this, I find it easier just to use a small acrylic block. And I'm using Flagstone alcohol proof. So what I'm going to do is I'm stamping, and I'm kind of going to fill in any of these little bits that may potentially be gappy. And as you can see, I'm not doing them at any specific angles or that. I'm wanting to do them so that we're filling up. And what I'm also doing as well, I'm not overly concerned if I miss tiny little bits, because it's all working in with the image and the design of this full collection. So now that we've got that one, what I would then do is take my Ice Grey 2. So I'm using my tri-blend, but you can of course use your Classique. And then I would go all the way around. So I will do this one here.
There will be a complimentary tri-blend Nutcracker collection available in our launch day show a little later. There aren't many of them though, less than 50 of them. So make sure if you want them, you look ahead to that show, which is coming up at 3 p.m. today in the UK with myself and Jam. That's 10 a.m. East Coast. So yeah, nice when we do these complimentary sets, isn't it, to go with collections, Craig? So you know it's all taken care of for you. You've got all the colours you need then to work with these particular sets.
That's right, yeah, because one of the questions we get asked quite a lot is how do we decide on what colours of pens or inks that we're going to use? And what I always say is I always pick out the colours that are within the pattern papers that I'm using or the design that I'm using, but for us to actually be able to come out and bring a nice little set for you, you don't need to do the thinking. We've got all the colour palettes done together for you that you can pretty much just start crafting. But in this little corner, I've gone round with Ice Grey 2, and then if I bring in this one that I've done beforehand, so once again I've gone all the way around. It's a bit harder to see, but we've gone round with Ice Grey 2 all the way around. So let's move these bits out the way, and I'm going to come in with my, it was A5 card. I created my own using white smooth stamping card. I did trim it down slightly to make it more equal, so it's 5 3/4 by 7 3/4. And then I've taken one of these pattern papers here, and I'm going to lay this one up. So this one, 1/4 inch smaller, so 5 1/2 by 7 1/2. And because we've got 3 of each page, it means that you're able to use one side on one, and you've still got another couple if maybe you like the opposite side. So we can go in with this one. And then what I've done, this one I have cut to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So I'm going to lay this one up here. I'm going to secure this with my tape, and then I've taken some of this really deep navy blue, and I've cut that to 5 by 7, and I'm going to tape that one on. And this one, what I'm doing is I'm going in still flat with my tape, and then what I'm going to do with the Nutcracker and a sentiment, that's what I'm going to raise on foam pads in a moment or two.
Fantastic. Pam Montenegro said, I haven't seen this collection before today. S. Rook says, I love the clock. Pamela saying, I'm really loving this paper you're creating here as well. I think that's something you don't often think to do, isn't it? Create your own background papers, which you can do when you've got such gorgeous stamps.
You can. And don't think as though you can only do it with the images. It works well with your sentiment stamps as well. And then a good number of weeks ago, on one of the Play Your Craft Right shows that I was on, you know our interchangeable sentiment dies?
Yep.
Well, what I done is I had taken one of the sentiments, I die cut them a number of times, used my tacky glue, I positioned them all the way around, and then I created my own background using the sentiment in this same format. So it does work.
But using die cuts?
Yeah, with the die cuts. I die cut them in black. So it gives the impression that it's a stamped impression, but it's actually was die cuts. So you can do it with so many different mediums that you've got at home. But what I've done is I've stamped it. I would then cut it out using the coordinated die that you get. What I'm also going to do, Joe, is I'm going to take out of our box here, I'm going to take another piece of the deep navy here. Now, I'm going to die cut a separate panel or a separate layer using the navy. I could have, if I thought beforehand, used this layer underneath because you're not going to see it, but hey, I've done this now. But what I've already done is using some of my jade green shades.
Oh, it's amazing.
True blue, dark red, gold yellow, and fair skin blend, all from the tri-blends. I've coloured a little Nutcracker out. And then the reason I'm away to die cut another one into the navy blue, see how, he sits well in the middle, but what I want to do is just break it up slightly. I want to have that little shadowed effect. So what we can do is let's take this one here. I've got my MIDI to the side. Many of these will actually work with your Mini or your Go, so you could use that if you've got that. But what we can then do is finish this one off by attaching this. What I've also done as well, Joe, is I've stamped out Nutcracker, I've stamped out Parumpa-Pum-Pum, and then I went round with Ice Grey too as well. So let's go in with, I'm going to go in with my tacky glue, simply because I can get a really, really quick coverage. So let's go in here, over the top, and I'm going to create a bit of an offset shadow down the left-hand side. Let's bring in a couple of foam pads, and then we'll finish this card off.
Amazing. Mary wants to know what ink pads to use with the alcohol markers, Craig.
So it was our alcohol-proof flagstone that I used for this one.
Pat says, I haven't bought any Christmas collections yet, but this is definitely the one that I'm getting. Carol D saying the stamps are really easy to colour, even if you're not an artist. I guess they're not going to take you too long to colour either, are they, Craig?
No, they're
some
not.
colouring, people love to do really lovely long projects, but if you want something to colour quickly, I'd imagine these would be quite nice for that.
There would be, yeah, they'd be really, really nice. Some of them are nicely detailed, that you can take that little bit of time. Some of them are not as detailed, which means that you can get them coloured quite quickly. But remember as well, if you were to use watercolour or our water reactive ink pads. There's lots of different distress techniques that you can do that we've got on past Crafters TV shows. For instance, one of them that I like to do is, let's take for instance the Nutcracker. What I like to do, stamp onto watercolour card with a specific colour, spritz with water so you get a very diluted effect, dry it, re-stamp again with a black ink pad, and then that takes away all that colour in time, but it gives you that distressed coloured background already done for you, which I know I've done that a couple of times and it will be on past Crafters TV shows. But let's finish off here with the last gem. And for this matte and layer with the Nutcracker and Parumpa-Pum-Pum, what I've done, Joe, is, just to give you a bit of an explanation, I did use Bordeaux Quick Dry, but I'll just show you with this ink pad so I can explain. To give it its full matte and layer, what I've done, stamped it out, and then I went in with the cardstock, and then against my ink pad, what I just done was I just dabbed the edge of my cardstock up against my ink pad, and then what we do is we get a nice fine matte and layer. You'll get an even finer one with your quick dry because you've got more of a spongy effect. But by doing it that way, you get a nice fine matte and layer without adding any extra additional layers. But it's a nice way to do it. But then there we go. If I bring that one in, now that could easily be scaled down into a smaller card or a square card. It's entirely up to yourself. But by using the core colour cardstock, by using the pattern paper, using the stamps to create our own background, including the sentiment with some of the gems as well, nice little card in which you're able to make use in the Nutcracker collection, which is officially launching Crafters TV later on today with Jan. Today's price being $39.99 or $44.80. You get that 10% saving even being on a launch day. You get 50 bonus points. And then, if you are platinum, that still comes down more to $31.99 or $35.84. For you guys across Central Europe, you just need to go to .eu. Your prices will be there.
Yeah, and it really is amazing. The value for money on that is incredible. Platinum pricing. I think to get a whole Osiris signature collection. I think I'm right in saying, Craig, it's the first time we've done a boxed signature collection, isn't it? Like in this style.
Yeah, I say so as well. It is. Yeah, it will be the first one.
Yeah, amazing. Don't miss out on that. Of course, Jan will be here for a 2-hour launch day show with myself at 3 p.m. Here in the UK, which is 10 a.m. East Coast time, which is going to be awesome. I want to move on to tell you about half price deal that you're also going to find in our launch day show a little later. It is, of course, our colour blend pencils. Now, these are amazing wax-based pencils. Incredible pigment in here, no talc, no filler. They really are artist quality, and you can get the whole collection of them for that incredible price. They're $49.60 or $69.60 for platinum members. This one here is your shades and tones. Let me just quickly show you the boards on what you're going to get in here. Essentially, you're going to get all of these. You're going to get all of your shades and tones. You're going to receive all of the essentials. Then you've got your florals, the naturals, and the primaries as well. So 120 pencils in total for that incredible price. Don't miss out on those. I know we've had some recent deals on them. You guys have loved them. Great that you can get hold of them for half price. Everyone's getting them at a better price than that because you're all using some sort of club inspired discount. Platinum members, less than £50 or $70, which is amazing value for money. Right, lots of you still chatting away. Vicky Cook says, wouldn't usually go for the Nutcracker theme. Craig's cards, however, are so lovely using this, I may have to order it. You won't be disappointed. The value is off the charts on that. Sue wants to know why you use tacky glue with the gems, Craig.
Well, always, it doesn't matter what gems they are, whether they're inexpensive gems or they're the top-notch gems like Hunky Dory or ours. They're always, 9 times out of 10, they're always self-adhesive. But even then, over time, gems can pop off. Again, doesn't matter how good quality they are, it's just nature of the beast. So what I always do is I'll always put a little dab of tacky glue on. So the initial adhesive on the back will give the instant stick, and then what will happen is that the tacky glue will dry clear, and then you know it's going to be really, really robust. It's not going to come off or fall off or even potentially be knocked off, which would or could happen with the self-adhesive already on it.
Amazing. Gemma's asking about the pencils. Are these ones that you blend with water? No, these are the wax-based ones here. So they'll blend together beautifully. Or what you can do if you use blending solution, of course, if you want to blend them together like that as well. It is completely up to you. Now, Craig has been doing a month-long project every Wednesday during Wake Up Call. And am I right in thinking this is the final instalment, Craig?
It is indeed, it absolutely is. This is the final instalment. So what we'll do is we'll go over and do the last bit. Bear with me. What I'm just going to do is just take a very, very quick drink. We're going to finish this one off. Now what we've done, anyone that's maybe just catching it now or that, if you want to see the previous steps as to where we've got so far, which is our Christmas planner, I have done this every Wednesday throughout July. So if you start with the first Wednesday of July, what we've done is we actually created the journal, then what we've done, or the planner, then the second Wednesday we decorated it, last Wednesday we done all these pages. Actually, I'm not going to go in just yet because we're going to show you what we're going to do, but what we've done is we've then nicely decorated it. We've got our Christmas planner, and then what we've also done is we've created our own little handle. Now the only additional thing that I done after the show last week is we had our red layer. So we've got our Velcro strip that we can see here. Now this is our Christmas red Centura Pearl. Now what I want to do is reinforce it a little bit more. So what I've done is used one of the Pearl Green that was from the Gnome collection, and I put an extra strip around the side, and what that does is just reinforces our tab that you can see there. So that's the only additional bit that I've done so far where we've not done it live. So what we've got to do now is, if I go into our organizer or our planner, up to last week what we got is to the point where we have on the inside we've created our little pocket, then on each of these pages we've created our additional pockets as well, where we can then pop any tabs or you know, whatever you want to pop in. So what I've done is I've taken some of our white smooth stamping card that we can see here, and these are 3.5 inches by 6 inches. And then what I've also done is I've used two components from our organizer or our planner set. So what I'm going to do with this one, let's go in with the make a list, and then we are going to take, let's start with Christmas list, because the initial, of course, idea would be that it's going to be planning your Christmas. So everything we pop inside, what we want to do is have that Christmas feel to it. So let's bring in the planner now. So I've measured them to size so that what they would do is at least fit in really, really easy. You're able to then pull them out. You might want to put ribbon or that on them, but by the end, these are going to be the components that you're actually going to write on and then remake time and time again. So you don't want to bling them or fancy them up too much, because potentially they would just go in the recycling after. It's the planner you would then keep. So what we're going to do is let's go in. I'm going to use my large stamping platform for this one, Joe, because what I want to do is I want to use a couple of stamps all at once. So let's take, do you know what I'm going to do as well? I've got a little bit of inky fingers that are kind of transferring onto my card. We don't want that. So let's just give ourselves a quick clean, and then we can carry on with this bit here. So we're going to do one of them. Let's do Christmas list. So I'm going to secure this with my discs. And what I'm going to do is pop this one here. Just to point out as well, our magnetic base and platform's back in stock, isn't it, Joe?
It is, yeah. We've just had a restock on that. So, yes, fill your boots.
Fill your boots indeed. And this is one that you will see us using time and time again, because it's so good for your layering stamps, but it's also good for something like this. So what I've done is done my Christmas list. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure my little tick box that we can see here. And then this is where what I'm going to do is let's press this one in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, still going to use my flagstone, my alcohol proof, because that's what I had to the side of me. So let's stamp this one out. And then what we can do is if we press this into place, And what you could do is you could do a number of these at once, because as I say, I know I said it a moment ago, but this is the bit each year. What you're going to do is you're going to have quite a few of them, and this is the sheets, this is the parts that you're going to replace each time once you've written on them. But if I remove that one, we'll start to get our list. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press just a little bit more down the side. So there's our initial start. Then what I'm going to do, so let's take our Christmas list off. Now I'm going to bring in a little bit of scrap card, and what I want to do is I want to make sure that my stamp is nice and clean, because I'm going to use it as a guide. So the last thing, oh, done it on my Nutcracker. What we can go and do is we can then start to, yeah, that's good, Johnny, actually, yeah, remember that. I remembered that as well, yeah.
Going through the shopping catalogue, writing your list.
The Christmas list. I don't know, we have a certain retail store here called Argos. They bring out a catalogue twice a year. Do they still do that now? Or?
No, it's digital now.
Is it all digital now?
All online now, indeed, yeah.
That was the fun bit, you know, making your Christmas list, going through the pages. It's one of those stores that, you know, done everything.
Pretty much everything.
Electrical, toys, gadget, everything. And then as kiddies, what we'd always do is go through the list and mark whatever we wanted or what we were hoping to get from Santa.
Remember then though, sometimes you'd go in for something, you'd key it in and it'd be out of stock.
Out of stock.
There was like no way of checking before you went to the store if they had it or not.
No, I know. That was the frustrating part when you were really looking forward to getting something that was out of stock. Now what I'd done here is I lined them up, but I just made sure that it was also lined up where I at least got one full tick box, so it wasn't as if part of the little box was hanging over the edge. So we've now got our full Christmas list sheet. So there's that one.
What's on your Christmas list this year, Craig?
I've not really thought about my Christmas list as of yet.
Johnny, anything on your Christmas list? A record player. Wow, a record player for Johnny. Charlotte? No. No. There's nothing you want.
She's got everything she needs, she says.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I can't think, Johnny, what would be on my Christmas list this year. Maybe aftershave. Always like a nice aftershave.
Always a good shout, aftershave.
Yeah, always a good shout. Always need that.
A holiday's on my Christmas list. Like a nice couple of weeks away somewhere, treat to myself.
If we're going down that road.
For next year, like, you know.
Yeah.
Because none of us have had, like, we've all been able to, like, get away for the odd sort of day here and there, but no one's had any, no one have to plan any big holidays. So hopefully by Christmas we'll be in a position where we can plan our holidays for next year, which would be amazing.
Yeah, if we're going down that road, then what I would say is, New York. We'll go down that road for next year. I know Johnny and his wife Gemma, they're going next year, aren't you, Johnny?
Are you? Whenabouts, Johnny? September? September the what? Oh, okay. Because I'm there on the 15th. No, I'm joking. Can you imagine?
I was about to say, I'll try and book it for
see you at the airport. Where are you flying from? So Johnny went on a honeymoon, and apparently a colleague was there on his honeymoon in Las Vegas. There you are. That's hilarious.
That's brilliant. That's so good. Funny.
When I was working in a previous job, where I used to work with Johnny actually, there was a floor manager there called Abby, and she was going away to New York. Her boyfriend, husband, was taken away for her 30th birthday, and turns out we went on a Sex and the City bus tour. They were on the same tour as us on the day of her birthday. Like, happy birthday! Really strange.
Yeah. I remember a good number of years when we went to Florida, and we went to Busch Gardens, and we bumped into our neighbours that lived right round the corner.
Wowzers.
We didn't know that they were going. They didn't know we were going, but on that same day, in Busch Gardens, from where we were, it was about, a good couple of hours drive.
Yeah.
And we ended up not only the same place, but the same park. It's funny, wasn't it?
Strange how you bump into people in your way, isn't it? Will Jewett says his first ever job was as a Christmas temp at Argos. Said, I love working there. You could get fit working there with the running around, I bet. Whizzing up and down those aisles. For anyone in the US that doesn't know what it is, basically it's like a small shop front. You go in and you like pay for stuff, and then it prints you a number, and you have to wait while someone runs out the back to this huge warehouse to find, you know, one of thousands of products. So I'd imagine there's a lot of whizzing around. I bet it's all done by robots now, Craig.
I think it is, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think a lot of it will be.
Kaz has already put a Christmas request in for their Christmas gifts. I want a Daddy Gemini and a foil press machine with the extender plate. There you go.
Oh, that'd be good. Let's keep your fingers crossed for that one, eh?
Let's hope that you're on the good list, Kaz.
Right, Joe, let's finish this one off and I'll show you what I've done. So there's my Christmas card list, and I've used a combination of the kind of like your dotted lines there, so you could write your little list. What I've done, a tiny little corner punch that I've got at home, I have punched corner at the bottom there, just to make it a little bit more pleasing on the eye. I've done Christmas list where I've done the tick sheet, and I've done exactly the same, corner at the bottom. And then what I have also done for the remaining ones, so having Christmas in mind. So we've got Christmas list, we've got Christmas cards. Now keeping in mind, these have all been done using these two stamp sets. Make a list.
Great, that's what Susan was just asking, which stamp sets you're using.
So primarily I've used make a list, but what I've also used is months, days and occasions, because there's like Christmas and cards that I've used, like I done a moment ago. So what I've also done, and these were all exactly the same, 3.5 by 6 inches, a to-do list. We need a shopping list, that could be food shopping or an additional Christmas list. Then we've done a don't forget. Then what I've done is I've done a recipes, and then I've used the stars instead that are within the set. So maybe you need to jot down a couple of recipes that you need to remember. You would need to do your list of the ingredients. And then maybe for someone like me and my family, I've got lots of birthdays in December, or there's a couple, my mum and stepdad's anniversary. So that's that one. And they're all good to go on these inside components.
Okay.
And for the two, the front and the back, what I've done is I've made a couple of smaller ones, 3 inches by 5, and I've done one with notes, and I've done one just with the receipts. So you wouldn't maybe necessarily write on this, but you could tuck your receipts in. So what we can then do is let's do our notes in here. So we can tuck that one in there. Let's do our Christmas list. Let's do our Christmas cards. Let's do our to-do list. And as I was saying, a bit like the receipts, you can tuck other things in as well because they're quite flexible, because we've got quite a bit of space there. Then we can do our shopping list into here. We could do our don't forgets into here. Let's go in with, let's do recipes. Let's do ingredients. Let's finish off with our birthdays in December list, and then last but not least, that could be our receipt bits that you can see there. So we could close that, and then what I've also done that I thought would maybe look quite smart, from our flower forming range, our Christmas last year, the holly, there's a die where you get all these little circles. So I've die cut them in gold. This is actually the the gold mirror that Hunky Dory do, that I think we've still got a few on the website. So I thought what we could do is these could be like, you know, the little, oh Joe, what do you call them? You know, little brads or, oh yeah, these sorts of things. You know, if you want to create little brads or that. So that could be the little finishing detail. Let's put one there. Let's put one there. Let's do maybe a larger one. Let's pop that one there. Let's do that there. And then really to finish off, let's finish that one off in the corner. One there, one there. So there's another kind of medium there. And then that one just there. And then there we go. let's leave it like that. But there we go, that's now, over the last 4 weeks, the last 4 Wednesdays, we have created what will be our Christmas planner. If you're just joining now, the reason I've not done Christmas planner 2021 is because an idea would be that I'll be using this every single year. All that I would need to replace is the little tabs that I've just done there. But we've got our notes there. You could do whatever you want, pop anything else that you want that you've got in here. So if you want to see how it's made once again, do go back and have a look on each of the wake-up call over the last 3 Wednesdays, 4 including today. What we will do as well on social is we will get some of the measurements written up. They are written, just need to get them typed and posted so that you can follow along to there as well. But then there we go, nice little monthly project that we've done throughout July on wake-up call.
Excellent. What an incredible project. If you've missed any of the previous weeks as well, remember you can go and watch all of those back, like all of our shows, over on the Crafters TV website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Right, a lot of you with very full baskets still from the Nutcracker. I'll give you an opportunity to check out. So whilst you do that, here is all the terms of our US delivery. Take a look.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Loads of you loving that planner as well. Pam saying the planner is very nice, Craig. Thank you for the ideas. Lean loving it. Gilmore saying they're going to go back and watch the earlier steps as well. Rhonda would need 12 of the don't forget lists. I guess the thing is, and as well, Pam saying she sends a lot of cards, would need more sheets of that. Just print as many, just stamp, sorry, I guess, Craig, as many tabs as you want and slot them in there. You've got loads of room for them, which is awesome. Yeah, lots and lots of love for that, which is brilliant. Now, not only, of course, do we have that amazing launch day coming up today at 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. East Coast time, but an amazing cravings show coming up later as well, Craig.
We do, we absolutely do, and this is where we're going to feature on the full of Garden Party collection from Sarah's Signature, where you're getting over 102 elements and over 120 sheets of paper. Now today's price being £125 or $180, it works out here in the UK, and for you guys Central Europe, you are saving over 25%. For you guys stateside, you are saving 20%. Even though you're getting that really good saving, what you're doing if you come into Platinum tier, you are £100 here in the UK or $144. Now, if you're relatively new to us, you may be looking at and understand that for a collection may be a considered purchase, but then when we go through everything that you're getting, it's not just folders, it's like 3D folders, and you've got stencils, you've got your pads, you've got your stamps, your dies. There is loads. So I think the best thing to do would be, let's show you the boards as to what you're going to get. Then I'm going to show you a few finished samples, and then we can go into a demo. So we've got a nice range of different crafty elements within this collection here. Now, something that we don't always do often, certainly within a Sarah's signature, is these stencils. So we've got delicate doilies, and this is actually one that I'm going to be demoing. And answering one of those questions earlier on, I'll show how I won't be using the spray to stick them down. I'll use the tape, and then we will do a little bit of dabbing of the ink. Not only do you get that one, what we get is the traditional lace, so that's a nice one. This one you could either, once you've inked, chop down, or you could leave it a whole. Just to reiterate, that would be chopping down the ink. Don't chop down your stencil, but you would do it once you've inked it. Then what we've got is we've got the summertime florals, and this is a bit of a build-a-scene floral that you've got here. A couple of stamps, you can start to build up that floral. Then what we've got is happy summertime. So you're thinking of the garden party theme, the springtime, the summertime, certainly here in England, because really there isn't a cap on how many people can come round to your house. So maybe you want to have a garden party, you want to make it special by making the invites, because you want to acknowledge the fact that you can now have a good time at your house with more people, friends and family. Then you can make it even more special by creating invites. That's there for you to do. Then we've got the vintage parasol here. This one is one of the 3D embossing folders. And the detail and depth that you get within this one here, simply phenomenal. And all this detail that you find within the parasol here, that is a detail that you're going to find that runs throughout the full collection. For instance, this pattern bit just here, this is where you'll have seen a moment ago, runs through the stencil set. Then what we have got is the towering teacups within this one. Another one that is a 3D embossing folder, 5x7, so they will go through your junior and your midi. Then we've got a delicate roses that here. I'm trying.
Struggling with my handwriting there, Craig.
It was the back. I thought it said roasted.
Delicate roses.
Delicate roses there. Now this one here, there's no outside cutting edge, therefore it cuts into your card, which means you can do larger card layers. Then we've got ornate lace edgeable.
I love this one.
It's a gorgeous one, isn't it? It's really nice. Not only is it an edgeable, but this edge die here creates a matte layer for it. So this peachy colour is the matte layer which this die creates.
So peachy.
It's what, sorry?
So peachy.
So peachy. So peachy indeed. Then what we've got, same idea, but with the balloons that we can see here. Then we're going into the bunting or the tags, whatever way that you want to use it. But you've got all those inside circle nesting dies as well as a little bit of build a floral that you can see here. This one being the summertime pennant. Then what has potentially been one of the favourite elements from this collection, a lot of people feel like this, and we're actually going to use it within this demo, and that is our beautiful rosette. We're going into our sentiments, good sizable sentiments here, being party and celebrate. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the dainty lace, really nice lacy images here with the parasols. We're going to be using that 90-degree corner to create a circle, and we're going to use that in a completely different way, but you get the dies to go with it. Then what we've got is time for tea. Same idea with the stamping dies, but you've got the teacup, you've got the little teapot, as well as the cakes. Then we're going into more of your stamp and dies, whereas what you've got here is the bird cage, that lace border, as well as some of your sentiments. We've then got 6x6 pattern papers that run all the way throughout of being garden party, all matte, so if you did want to ink them and distress them even more, you can do, but you can see all these gorgeous colour tones and designs, very lacy, that runs throughout this full collection of images. So that one there being your 6x6. And then last but not least, we have got our 12x12 block colour tones here. So you can see how you've got your pastel tones, sky blues, your peaches, your light yellows, as well as that it's greeny grey slash natural colour that we can see here.
It's almost, it's like a little bit, no it's not. I was going to go with it's almost like a sort of muted khaki, but I can't describe it.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from on that one there, yeah. It's a nice colour, it's a nice darker shade for you to then be using as your back layers. Well, let's show you a few finished samples that we've got here. Now, but in this collection, what you'll be able to do easily is make full cards, start to end, with this collection and this collection alone. You would need a few adhesives, but that is it. What we've then done is gone in with the concept. So if you do like to bring in your scoreboard or Ultimate Pro, you can do. Look at those teacups in the background. Really, really gorgeous. This is actually, if you seen Launch Party last night with the fireplace and the stockings,
Same but different.
kind of like the same idea, but obviously other way around. So more of a theatre card. But then the different colour tones that you can do. If you want to bring in your browns and your craft cards, you can. Then with your create a card, it creates really nice shakers. What about just using the 3D embossing folder alone? You can do. And then this was one that I actually done on, I think it was a week past Sunday, as I used one of the craft bag gift bags, and we started to build this one up here. So lots of different things that you can do going around that party theme, but of course, you know, as we've established by now, you don't just have to use them for your party theme, use them as the cards. I think if I can get a second just to get myself finished sorted,
Absolutely.
and then we can get in with the demo.
Absolutely. Pam says, Pamela says, I love the stamp set so many times, the party number one. Also loves the ornate lace die as well. June says the papers in this set are gorgeous. And she's saying, oh dear, this collection is so essential. It really is a lovely collection to be using at this time of the year as well. It's got a real summer vibe to it, which I think you guys absolutely like. Any questions that you've got about the collection, get them into me. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion across on YouTube. Slip into the comments there and I'll pop questions over to Craig. Remember, there will be, Jan will be here with us later for Creative Craving, so even more demonstrations. So yeah, another chance to see even more of this collection a little later then. It has been so popular, isn't it, Craig, since we launched this, a couple of months ago now, I'm guessing.
Because it's such a smiley, happy, feel-good collection, you know, from the lace designs, but the colour tones as well. Really is a gorgeous one that, you know, you can. If there's any ever collection that we've done from Sarah Sig or Nature Garden, which does shout out your mixed media but home decor, and this is the garden party, because you've got the parasol, the teacups, the embossing folder. You've got all these different ones that you can use throughout. So I thought what we'll do with this one here, so we'll do a 7x7 card, but we are going to layer it up quite high, so I would be making a box afterwards. But I've got my 7x7 card blank, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in the delicate doilies for this one here. Now, what I'm away to do, you could use your low tack tape, but you would need to really try and de-stick some of that adhesive stickiness that's on the back. So the other thing that you could do is if you've got some masking tape that's not as sticky, then what I would do is I would run that all the way around. And then this is also going to protect the edges of my cardstock, because I want to have that white matting layer all the way around. But what I don't want is any additional matting layers. I simply want this to be the main background before we layer on top. So I'm going to use my, gosh, can't even remember. I just said it there, didn't I? Masking tape. Here we go. So we're going to go in with that one. So it's nicely secure. It's protecting my edges if need be. Then what I'm going to do is we don't have what reactive is in a bundle as such throughout today, but we do have quick dry. And what I wanted to show you as well, when it comes to the quick dry, you can still use this with your stencil. Okay. Because what you're going to be doing is if you go in with your blending tool, if we go on, because we're going on a non-porous surface, it stays flexible, movable, it stays
Yep.
wet. So therefore, what we can do is we can still go on with our inks. And because I've not got any of my low-tack tape, my repositionable adhesives, what I'm doing is I am dabbing. This stencil isn't too bad in the fact there's not many loose areas that could potentially lift up as we're blending. But what you could do, if you do have any, like we showed you earlier on within the Nutcracker, what you could then just do is dab the ink on. So instead of having to go around in the blending way, simply by dabbing. But as I say, this one's not too bad. There's not any loose parts that could catch. So we're going to go in, this one being Pink Tulip. So I know it's in one of the bundles that's on Creative Cravens in the Quick Dry. So what we're going to go, the Pink Tulip is from the Warm Tones collection. If you want to check that out within the lineup on our website, have a look there. But what we can then do is, because I'm using this to ink through, because it's quick dry, what I'm also going to do just shortly is use it as an actual ink to stamp with for what it's known for. But what we can then do is if we do a little bit more, we can then ink that one up. Let's go round. And then I'm going to leave that one for that now. So what I can then do is if I peel that off, take all of these off, and then we're going to take off. Now, if you were wanting to use a paste, what I would suggest is if you pop a strip along the top first of all, and then put the tape all the way around, because what this does now, even though it's ink that I've used, let's say for instance, argument's sake, it was paste, this creates a bit of a hinge now. So that means I could lift that one up and I've got no worry or concern about spreading the paste or anything like that. So if you were wanting to use paste, that's a nice little tip for you to use.
I love the design of this.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's really cute.
It's a really, really nice one. And then even that onto the card blank, really simple with a sentiment. That's all that you need. But that's not where we're going to leave it. We're going to bring another piece into the side here. Now this one is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So then what I'm going to do is let's get this into the middle of our large stamping platform. So I'm going to go for a rough guess at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to come along just a tiny wee bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. So I need to do the same from top and bottom. So bear with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I need to come down another one into there. And there's a reason why I'm doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. So 7.5. So I've got that right in the middle of my stamping platform. So let's pop our discs into place. Then what I can do is I'm going to come in with this 90-degree lacy corner. So what we can then do is let's line up the 90-degree point up to that 90-degree angle in the center of our stamping platform. And then this is where we're going to go back to the Pink Tulip quick dry. So think along the lines of our rotating stamps. So what we can do, which actually, rotating stamps, are they on Creative Cravens?
They are on Creative Cravens, indeed.
So that same idea. So now that I've stamped into the bottom left, what I can do, ink it up again, but then turn it 90 degree.
Oh, I love this idea.
And stamp. Turn it 90 degree again. Now you can get these center cross even closer if you pull it further into the center. But what we will be doing is partly covering the center of it as well. So I'm not overly concerned. 90 degree, once again, stamp. Now we've got what we've got is close to really gorgeous lacy ornate center. So what we can then do is let's move that out the way. And I'm going to go in with a few adhesive layers, and then what we're going to do, Joe, is we're going to stamp out the parasol, but we're going to do it in a slightly different way.
Awesome. Lots of you loving this. Pamela's asking if you could add glycerin to the quick dry to make it more blendable, Craig?
So yeah, you can do. What I would do that if I was going straight onto a cardstock surface.
Right.
What I mean by that is because our stencil is a non-porous surface, it means that the ink's going to glide, no problem whatsoever. So if you want to use your quick dry straight onto a cardstock, yes, use the glycerin, but something like your stencil, you're going to get that really nice blend anyway because it's a non-porous surface. But yeah, great idea as well.
Excellent. Khaki Blue says, I would love to see that stencil ×4 on a large surface. That's a lovely idea of using it.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Really nice way. Because there's lots of different ways that you could be doing it, because you could, of course, be then maybe you might want to trim it into blocks of 4, or maybe you might want to stamp it or ink it 4 times. There really is lots of ways in which you can use it. It's all about playing, isn't it? Having a play.
Yeah, and that's a great thing, isn't it? Once you've got a big collection like this at home, you can really sit down, play around with it, work out what's going to work best, come up with your own ways of using it as well, you know, ways in which we probably didn't even envisage when we put in these collections together. That's half the fun most of the time. I love the way you've used it in the background there as well. Really great frame.
It is, it just frames it nicely. And although I always champion the mats and layers, see how you don't actually need it? This is a mat and layer in itself. So it's nice. I've added a piece of black card. This bit of pastel yellow is from the collection, so I can set that one to the side. What we're going to do here is let's go in with our parasol. And I think this blew my mind when I done this yesterday, so hopefully it might blow your mind as well. What I'm going to do is let's do this quick, because I also want to quickly make one of the rosettes. I'm going to stamp with my Flagstone alcohol proof. Then what I'm going to do is, instead of bringing in my platform, let's just go direct straight on. So what we can then do, so if I stamp that one in here, so we've got our parasol there. We've got our parasol. Then what I'm going to do is let's go in with bright pink blend, and I'm going to go in with only the light side. So I'm just doing the light side, and then I'm going to colour in selected bits, and then I'm going to use the die to die cut. Then this is when I'm going to do something else to it.
Craig's a clever, crafty chappie, says June.
Thank you, June.
There you go. It's a really bumper collection, this one as well. 102 elements and 120 sheets of paper in there as well. So you're getting absolutely loads in there. So the paper then, you're getting the 12 by 12 in the pattern paper. You're getting the 6 by 6 in there, and then as well the luxury pearlescent card. So yes, loads of really great value there. Great saving for everyone as well. £50, $46 is your saving. Of course, Platinum members saving even more than that. UK Platinum members saving what, £75, which is an incredible value for money. So do snap it up. If you missed it, now is a great chance to get a really bumper collection of it still. Remember, it's going to be featured in our Creative Cravings show later at 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast time, and the lovely Jan will be here with me for that. So no doubt she'll put her own unique spin on it too, I'm imagining, Craig.
Oh yeah, she will. Always love seeing what Jan comes up with, because Jan really can just come out with things that you never would have thought of. Always get lots of ideas from Jan, from her shows. So what we can do is I've coloured in selective areas. Now I have used the die to die cut it out. Now what you could see, if you are like me and the like of fussy cutting, you could just fussy cut it. But what I'm going to do is let's take away the handle of the parasol. And then what I'm going to do is, because we get a nice white edge, I don't want as much of that because that will become apparent in a moment. So I'm going to follow all the way around to take that one away. So any idea what this kind of looks like now, Joe? No?
A very lacy, fancy brassiere?
Yeah, maybe that. What about if I'd done a second one
Ah!
Now, you wouldn't necessarily think of a butterfly, would
No.
you, to start with? That was a happy accident last night.
Could you use the stick of the umbrella to add a little bit of that as the body?
You could do. You could bring that
Just
one
cut a little
in
bit of that.
and use that as the stick of the body if you wanted to. So what you could do is let's go. Happy to say that
Everyone else immediately
yes,
saw a butterfly, just to say.
most of you thought butterfly. Joe didn't. See, it's us crafters. We think of these things, don't we? But yeah, why not start to use that as the body? And do you know what? If you want to match the end, let's take. I don't have any other tri-blends, but let's just colour one end just to kind of match the other. I'm just taking one of our art liners. You know, it kind of finishes it off. And it could be the body of the butterfly there. You know, at a distance, will work quite well. So in actual fact, let's keep that here. Now what I've done is using the rosette, I have die cut it twice using our cardstock that's within the bundle. And to say as well, because the cardstock, because it's 12 by 12, what you could do is you could cut a sheet in half, so therefore you'll be left with a sheet that's 12 inches by 6 inches. Yeah, that's right, 12 by 6. If you fold it in half, then you're left with a 6 by 6 card blank. So you can make your own card blanks from this 12 by 12 as well. So lots of different craftability within it. So what I'm going to do is on one end, I'm going to add my adhesive and I'm going to overlap that here. And then what I can do is let's pop adhesive onto another end and we're going to overlap. So if you've not seen these ones before, I've die cut it. You get the score lines already done for you once it's cut, and then all I've done is mountain and valley fold or concertinaed all the layers. And then we're going to give it a little bit of a press. The more layers you use, the more fuller the rosette will be. But within the die set, what you also get, Joe, if I can find it, here we go, is this little circle die. And that's going to enable you to create the rosette. And I would highly recommend hot glue for this. You can use your glue gel, but you would need to weigh this down for a fair bit of time until it sets. But pop my hot glue in the middle, popped over the rosette, and then what I'm going to do is fold it over, get it into position. Doesn't matter where the circle is on the back because it's not going to be seen, and then I'm going to hold that just for a moment, Joe, till it actually grabs.
Awesome. Sue Featherlin says, mind blown. Beth Fallick says, aren't you brilliant, Craig? Isn't he? Isn't he brilliant? Yeah, really, really great idea on that one. Craig, what we're going to do about card of the show? We've only got about 6 minutes left.
Tell you what, instead of putting a sentiment on here, we'll leave this the way that it is. So I'll put this on, and then I've stuck these together using a little bit of tape. So let's put a little bit of hot glue. Let's put that at an angle, and let's go with Joe's idea. Let's press that just a little bit more for it to grab. I'm going to put another tiny bit of hot glue here, and then let's do the longer black end. Oh, get that, my hadn't quite dried quick enough. Let's bring this one back in, and then let's press this. Where's my glue gun? Let's go. There we go. Let's bring this one in. Let's position that, and then once the hot glue for the butterfly wings has dried, I'll still be able to make it a bit more flexible by pulling it up. Tiny bit of hot glue within the middle. Then what we can do is we can pop that one in down to there, and then there we are. So I would add a sentiment, but do you know what? For this show, I'm happy with that one. And then there we go. So it is dimensional, but I would then make that into, or make a box for it to go into.
Amazing, absolutely awesome. So card of the show then, Craig. Number one was your Nutcracker, I'm guessing.
It
Number
was,
2.
wasn't it? Yeah. So it was the Nutcracker. I won't put the organiser in, will I? I'll put these two. So we've got the Nutcracker 1, or we've got number 2, which is from Garden Party.
There you are, 1 or 2. The choice is yours. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. So you've got, I'd say a minute or 2 to get your votes in. You'll need to be really, really quick to get those in for us. Which one would you be voting for, Craig?
What did you say?
Which one would you be voting for?
Oh, of my own card?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't say. I couldn't possibly
Why?
say. Because I love them both.
Oh, come on, you must like one more than the other.
Probably the butterfly.
That's like when
one.
people say, I love my children equally.
Probably the butterfly.
There's always a favourite child.
There
I was
is.
always the favourite one.
I was always, I think so anyway.
Yeah, I was definitely the favourite.
Not that my brother will be watching, but yeah. Special item. Favourite one. Yeah. Here we go. Card making kit there. It was me. I think Joe was the way to do that one there. It's me. I'm the one that's sitting down. Yeah, here we go. I'm sitting down now. Let's do this one. Here we go. This one is our Double Dutch card making kit. This is the bright balloons where you're getting 492 elements within this one. All die cut, and they make Double Dutch card. $24.99, $29.95. But if you're platinum, that comes down to $19.99, $23.96, and 100 extra bonus points as well. Then we're going to go into the vintage handbag. Same concept. All die cut. They make really cute handbag cards. Vintage handbag card making kit with 764 elements. Once again, price being the same, $24.99 or $29.95. Platinum comes down to $19.99 or $23.96 plus 100 extra bonus points. And then when it comes to the reverse easel card making kit, beautiful bouquets, 464, $24.99, $29.95, platinum being $19.99, $23.96, and guess what, Joe?
What?
100 extra bonus points as well. I know. Oh, indeed. So that one is all of your card making kits. Nice set of different ones that you've got there. Be coming up in Creative Cravens. There we go. Gosh, that's been a really good and fast-paced show again. First one of, how many are you on for, Johnny and Charlotte? Just today and tomorrow? Oh well, bit of a shorter stint for those guys. Me and Joe are still with you for the remaining of the week, although it's going to be Jan for the remaining of today. So it's been so good to have your company. What one have we got that's won?
Number 2.
Number 2, the butterfly one. There we go, that one won demo of the show. Thank you very much. Really quite chuffed with that one. So that will go up against Jan's from launch day and also Creative Cravens. I think it's fair to say with what Jan always creates, I think she's going to win, definitely. I don't even know what she's going to do, but I think if I was a betting man, I would say that she's going to pip the post on me on that one, that is for sure. But all that's left to say is, once again, thank you so much. It's been a really, really fun show. Thank you, Joe, for always popping in. It's
Pleasure
nice
as always, Craig. Yeah, I'll be back in, an hour and a half's time with Jan for the Nutcracker. And we'll be announcing the winner of the Winter Wish List as well in that 3 p.m. show, which will be 10 a.m. on the East Coast.
Yeah, that'll be really good to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm going to head home just shortly where I'll do some more prep for tomorrow. I hope you can join us tomorrow. It's going to be me and Joe once again, Johnny and Charlotte as well, where we're going to be back for Thursday's edition of Wake Up Call. It's going to be another jam-packed, as it always is, tomorrow on Crafters TV. So hope I can have your company then. But yes, don't forget, Jan's going to be here with Joe for launch day, 3 o'clock here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. And then they're both going to be back for Creative Cravens, being the staple show of a Wednesday. We've had a look at some of the things that I picked for Creative Cravens, that being specifically being Garden Party, but we do have those card making kits as well. Worthwhile checking them ones out. Don't forget, we have featured them in the past before, and I've shown you different ways in which you can make the card making kit. So as always, go back after the shows and watch past shows of Crafters TV on YouTube, the best place to go, because you can always subscribe and you get an alert to say there's new shows up that are going live. Best place to go. But I will see you same time, same place tomorrow, where we're going to do it all over again with a new bunch of products, a new bunch of picks for the day. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of craftiness, that is for sure. Have a lovely rest of the day with Jan and Joe. I will see you again tomorrow for Thursday's edition of Wake Up Call with Craig. See you later. Bye.